Hey, what's up everyone? In this video we're going to be looking at how to get rid of this disgusting mold and mildew buildup on the sink drain in your bathroom. We've all suffered from this problem and enough's enough, right? This is disgusting, and we're also going to be cleaning out the aerator thing here on the sink, on the actual faucet. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to remove the aerator and set that aside. You may or may not have an aerator that twists off. In any case, you can see here if you run the water, we get some disgusting black mildew buildup that's happening on the inside, the underside of that, and so we don't want that coming out even microscopically into any water that's being used here. So we're going to clean this up. So we'll go ahead and get rid of this nasty stuff. Again, not pretty. So we'll bring that aerator back into view and just can kind of see some black moldy buildup on pretty much all surfaces. There's some white mildewy stuff as well. So we're going to have to take this baby apart and we'll get it cleaned up. So there's a rubber washer, and then we'll take out this little green filter. The whole piece just kind of presses downward, and then you've got your metal part that screws into the bottom of your faucet. Again, lots of nasty buildup here. All right, so we'll take that little plastic piece that we just popped out and the green filter that kind of just separates very lightly, just kind of snaps on, not an issue at all. You'll want to try to remember which piece goes where to put it all back together again. Of course, if yours is similar to this one, you can just rewatch the video. Here's another shot at the underside of the faucet there. Once the aerator is removed, you can see there's a little bit of black mildew kind of hanging off of there. Let me turn that light on for you. There you go. You'd be surprised what kind of gunk and whatnot gets up in there over time. So I'm going to just spray it with some special like shower cleanser stuff. And I'll put a link in the description below to the stuff that I like. This stuff works pretty well. It's pretty strong. It works to kind of get away all that lime and all that just nasty buildup stuff that you'd like see in your shower, right? And this is specifically for bathrooms, so it's pretty gentle to use, but tough on the mildew and whatnot. So as you can see, I just sprayed pretty liberally the actual drain and the underside of the faucet. Be careful you don't squirt yourself in the face or your surrounding area there. It does put out some pressure, right? And now I'm going to get my other pieces here and just kind of let that squirt it and just kind of let it sit. And depending on how bad your problem is, how much buildup and stuff, how much mildew and whatnot, this could vary between 5 minutes and waiting 15, 20 minutes. Make sure you read the instructions there. I'm going to wait several minutes, about 10 minutes. I'm also going to spray while I'm at it the faucet because it does shine up chrome really nicely. Now before I start scrubbing, I'm going to put on my protective gloves. I just don't really want this stuff contacting my skin. I might have to take the gloves off later to pick up the smaller pieces and handle those, but generally I'm going to protect myself. So after it's been sitting for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is, you can start to scrub away. You'll want to be aware, make sure you close your drain. You don't want any of those pieces falling down the drain, right? So I'm going to get my sponge and I'm just going to start to scrub that and use a little bit of elbow grease. Now, if you were to scrub this without that cleaner, you'd have to be putting in a lot of effort into it. So this kind of loosens it up and just makes it pretty simple, I would say, to just scrub away. You'll want to make some rotations, some circular patterns there, putting a little pressure on, obviously. And noticed I closed the drain there to get better kind of leverage on the actual top of the drain, right? So it's flush. And I'm just gonna kind of work my way through, and I'm just gonna scrub all those surfaces. And I'm also gonna take my sponge and put it up inside the bottom of the underside of the faucet, so I can kind of squeeze that a little bit. There's a better view. You can see we're getting some things out, some black buildup there. And there we go. I'm just going to kind of work that as much as possible. And again, going back to scrubbing the drain. And while I'm at it, I'll do the rest of the sink here. Let me fast forward this for you. You don't need to watch this It's like paint drying a little bit. So just lots of scrubbing here. Now this piece can get kind of stubborn around there, so I'm going to lift that drain back up and just spend a little extra time getting around those edges. When it comes time to rinse this stuff off, all you have to do is get your sponge wet and just kind of rinse water on top of it. Just let it, just kind of squeeze your sponge over that, and it cleans up and dries really nicely. All right, so next up we'll get these little pieces out, and we're just rinse them off with water. They've been soaking in that cleaner, if you remember. And so with all that cleaner rinsed off, I can now remove my glove and have a little more control over getting these pieces cleaned up. So I'm just going to take my sponge, and using that coarse blue side, that more abrasive side, I'm going to try to be pretty aggressive with it, using the edge to get in between the threads. Those are really stubborn. And you might need to reapply the cleaner a little bit as needed. So what I'm doing here, I noticed there's a little bit of black mildew buildup on the lip of the drain. So I was just kind of working some cleaner in there and just using the edge of my sponge there, you can see, and again, kind of using that force at the right angle to get some of that black mildew up that's underneath. So I'm pretty satisfied with my pieces here. They look pretty shiny and for the most part mildew free. There's a better look at the inside there. I see mostly plastic, not any obvious buildup happening. So that tells me the cleaner worked pretty well there. And all of those are free of buildup. The green little filter here has a little bit of a rust stain on it. So I'm not really concerned with that. It does not scrub out at all. But you can see there's nothing blocking the little holes at all. And there's a look at my rubber washer all cleaned up. So we've got all 4 pieces cleaned up, and we're going to put these all back together now. So the gray plastic piece inserts into the metal threads there, as shown. Notice the threads are up, and this little green filter kind of snaps back on the top of this piece. And then we'll put our rubber washer on like that. Now be careful, that rubber washer might get stuck up there. And when you first take off your aerator piece, if you don't have a rubber washer, make sure you look up there. It might be hanging out. So it just kind of it should definitely go on there. So be careful and make sure you get it on correctly. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to angle it right and then twist. And make sure that's snug. Run the water just to make sure nothing is spraying out. If it's not tight, you're going to get water kind of spraying out from in between the faucet and the aerator piece. So this is the job. Got rid of all that nasty mold and mildew buildup. Hopefully this video has been helpful. If you did like this video, please do me a favor and click the subscribe button, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.